Okay, I'm going to say that he's looks like he's native Texas, and being from Texas, I would have to support that. But I don't like him on the fact that he's black. Absolutely not.
David? Please.
I knew this was going to come. I don't like him because he's black.
Are you even serious right now?
You know, I'm a minority, but I got a problem.
I was going to say. Hold on. You're like a minority yourself.
Absolutely.
You're gonna
We rode in yesterday together, so I'm to assume that based on what you just said that you don't like me because I'm black?
I'm talking general sense here, but the fact is...
General sense, how much more general than you can be? And then you're sitting in a car with somebody, you're riding in it, you said it, you opened it up.
Am I... Okay, let me tell you this.
You must be out of your...
It doesn't matter if we rode in or not. It doesn't matter. I don't know you from anybody, okay? We share the same path. But you know what? My personal beliefs and my personal experience, I don't like them. I don't like them. I don't like them.
And there was a homie from Weedmas that came over, and he was like, "Hey, just the heads up, you know, that auto right there is a leva." And I was like, "All right, gracias."
I never have, and I never will.
What is it about black people that you don't like? Yeah.
And so, you know, it's gonna be all bad for him, right? You know, it's really bad for levas and YA, right? So I don't ask anything because I was in the middle of something, right? And I watched this vato. I watched this dude, and he was from Drifters. I'm not gonna say his name. He was from Drifters, and I don't know. I just got this vibe, man. Like something wasn't right, you know. And so I kept people off him. I said, you know, let me watch this dude for a few days. Eh? Let me just see us get down. And he looked like a wounded animal more than anything. You know, he looked spooked. He didn't want to make eye contact. You know, he kept to himself. And so one day I tell the homies, hey, I'm gonna talk to this dude. So I pulled him into the shower room, not into the showers, the shower room. It's a cold tile area, and there's 2 benches there. And I had my road dog with me, Stymie from Largo, from Compton, right? Because I want to hear why he was leva, and then I was gonna deal with him with Stymie, right? That was my mind. But I had this feeling about him, you know. So I told homies, tell that vato to come over here, and he came. You know, he came. You could tell he was scared, but he showed up, right? And I told him, hey, sit down. And he sat between me and Stymie. And I asked him, hey, are you a leva? And he goes, they're telling me I'm a leva, yeah. And I told him, why are you leva? And he told me what happened. What happened was, when he was in Arroyo, there was some kind of holiday, right? And for whatever reason, they didn't do it when I was there, but the staff brought in stuff to make nachos for everybody in the unit, right? And I guess they set it up on tables. And so they had a table that had chips and a table that had, you know, like the beans and the cheese and jalapenos, whatever, however they set it up, right? And so the vato from Drifters got in line, and he went to go get his nachos. And you got to remember, this is the fish tank. So he went from Tuna Hall to SRCC to there. You know, he was probably just excited. You know what I mean? Like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to get my grub on. And there were other homies that were in line with them. And so he grabbed his shit, you know, and he went and he sat down and he started eating. And he took one bite and he looked up and he said the homies were just looking at him, shaking his head. They were like, you're a leva, fool. And he was like, he didn't know what was going on. And he looked around. And he was the only homie that was eating nachos, eh? There were other homies in line, but he was the only one eating them. And when he looked around, he was the only one that even had a plate. The blacks had plates, you know, the others had plates. But he was only, and he was like, he took one bite and he was like, fuck. So he went and he threw his plate away, and he saw that there was a bunch of plates that were already in there, you know, that had the chips and everything. So it turns out a black staff member, her name was Mrs. Buck. She had reached into a bag of chips and was putting them on plates. And the way YA was, I told this story a while back. It's in one of my videos. I don't remember the name. It's probably the YA racism story. Once a black person touched anything, Raza wasn't allowed to use it. That was just the way the rules were back then. That's why I say YA was so, it taught people how to hate, and to hate in an extreme fashion. And that's why so many of us, when we paroled, we got out and killed somebody or got killed, because we were pushing an agenda to a more extreme level than most, right? So anyways, when he tells me this, right, I asked him, did anybody tell you that the food was leva? And he goes, no. And I go, did anybody run you down when you got there? And he goes, no, I just got there. And I told him, okay, why were the other bodies? And he goes, I guess somebody told him, like their homies told him I didn't have no homeboy. And you know, they told him, like, hey, throw that shit away, it's no good. And he goes, nobody told me. And I go, well, you're not a leva fool. And he was like, that's the first time he really kind of like looked me in the eyes, and he goes, what? I told him, you're not a leva. You can't be dropped leva if you don't know the reglas. It don't work that way. I said, what happened was you had some snake ass motherfuckers over there, which was what Why was most of the time. You know, it was vatos like to prey on other people. It was just a weird thing, man. And like a lot of times, if you didn't have a homeboy there or somebody to take a liking to you, you could fall into a trap. And if there's not somebody who's fair, you're stuck in that trap because other people won't ask. So anyways, I told him, you're not leva, fool. And he's like, no, but you know, I don't want you to get in trouble. You know, how am I gonna get in trouble? Why is different than the joint? The joint, you gotta listen. You're gonna mind somebody, right? But in Why, it's the Wild West. But when you're voted in to take over the compound, which was what happened to me, I was voted to have that position, right, by the homies. So, anyways, I told Stymie, I said, hey, get a bowl. So Stymie went, boom. We already had one in the day room for us, and he hooked it up. A bowl is when you hook up your soapbox, you know. So he hooked it all up, makes it, comes back, and he hands it to me, right? And homies are watching from the day room. They can see into the shower room. They see me talking. I know they thought like, oh yeah, they're gonna fuck this dude up, you know. And then they saw the bowl, and you could see where people were like, what the fuck's going on? And I handed him the bowl, and I told him, take the first bite. And he had the food in front of him, and he was like, no, I don't want to do this. And I said, take a bite out of that fucking bowl. So he took a little ass bite, or like a mouse thing. He took a little bite. And when he took the bite, I grabbed the bowl, and I looked directly at the vatos in the day room. And I took like 3 or 4 bites, and I handed it to Stymie. He took 3 or 4 bites, and I handed that back to him. And that vato was still like, man, aren't you gonna be a leva now? I said, how? It doesn't work that way. You didn't fuck up. You know, you cannot be dropped leva for not knowing the reglas. Somebody has to run you down, and then you make a decision like, fuck you and your reglas. Then it's like, all right, fuck you, and we're gonna do whatever we want to. And levas had it bad as fucking, I'm telling you. And so we ate the bowl together. We went out to the day room, and I told everybody, he ain't no leva, that's a camarada, that's my friend right there. And you know, it was a trip because I know that individual, hopefully you're still alive, hopefully you're doing very well, and you have a bunch of kids, bunch of grandkids, you have a woman that loves you to death and treats you like a king, and you treat her like a queen. That would be the best thing for me to hear. But no matter what, I'm sure that if he's around and sees this video, he's gonna remember who I am. And I know that even out of Stymie was my dog. I had a couple of different dogs in there. You know, I was there for years. That guy was more loyal to me for what I did to him. And I didn't do it for that reason. I did it because it was right. You know what I'm saying?
They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you.
You are only an hour away from me. As a man, I can only control what I do. You are only an hour away from me. As a man, I can only control what I do. You are only an hour away from me. I try to have interactions with people. You are only an hour away from me. Right? And it is what it is. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster.
I'm a YouTuber.
You are only an hour away from me, fucking punk. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
Okay.
Shit. Damn.
Yeah.
And?
Do not act like you're in my world. You are not in my world. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
No one's acting like they're in your world, does, so I keep saying that
shut
shit.
The fuck up.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
Hey, bro.
Yeah,
like,
shut up. I'm telling
Jerry, you're out.
Listen, I'm telling you right now, I'm trying to let you out of this shit. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
Neither, what the fuck?
Jerry, you know that? Jerry, I'll go to your house tonight. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
You still talking?
Tell me where you're at. I'll go to your fucking
chill,
house
chill,
tonight,
chill,
you
chill,
fucking
chill.
bitch. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
Please go.
I'm right here in Sedano. What the fuck? I'm right here. Talking about?
I'll go to your fucking house tonight, you fucking bitch. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
Oh,
Come on.
Man, chill out, Duz. Let's go.
Come on.
Motherfucker talking that shit.
Come
Them
on.
motherfuckers got me fucked up. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber. I'll go to your house tonight, Jerry. Where you at? I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
Hey, boy, I gotta say it. You gotta say it like 3 times.
Listen, you're not far from me, homeboy. I'll go to your fucking house tonight and I'll wreck your whole fucking family.
I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
Whoa. Yeah, you done fucked up now, bro.
I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
You fucking faggot.
Yeah, that's all you gotta say.
You ain't trying to let me know.
I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
I just said sit down, didn't I?
You fucking bitch.
Come sit down.
Motherfucking house, you fucking faggot.
Whoa.
I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber.
You ain't gonna do shit, bro.
You're right down the street from me. You're right down the street from me, you fucking punk.
I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber. I'm not a tough guy. I'm not a gangster. I'm a YouTuber. I don't know how any of this shit's gonna end. But hopefully it ends well.
This vato came out here and took his shirt off. Showed his boobies. I don't even know if I can fucking monetize this shit because the vato has boobies. 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 Boobies.